our world-class resources and faculties, our cutting-edge facilities, our global partnerships with leading universities, our strong network with industry for internships and job placements, our worldwide research collaboration. These are the inspirations and the opportunities at UTP. Here, we nurture the analytical skills and intellectual capabilities of all who walk the UTP path. Here we culture the ethics and the attitudes that will shine in the real world. Here we expose ourselves to what it truly means to be human, to be a valuable part of society, to be the empowered people, the game changers who will light up the path towards a better world and change lives for the better. At UTP, the torch is firmly in your hands. So hold it up high and let us together light it and let it burn brightly. Join us to seek inspiration and achieve your aspiration towards global prominence.
Ya, selamat pagi dan Assalamualaikum and welcome to Experts Kejohanan e-sukan Campus 2019 Semester 1. Can I get a big round of applause? Wow, like thousands of people are here today for the very first location in University Technology Petronas Perak. Another applause for UTP. Yup, great, fabulous. Love the energy. Anyway, we would like to say thank you to our main sponsor. This cannot be happening without the support from Experts. Siapa pengguna Experts angkat tangan? Me myself is a Experts user. Cool. And also kita nak cakap anjuran bersama oleh portal My Game On, Kitaman and also UTP dengan kerjasama Predators, Saders dan Mobile Legends e-Project, penaja bersama Boost, Cadbury 5-Star, Mountain Dew dan Todak. Rakan rasmi Media Prima Digital, all the radio and the Ripples, all the TV station and also portal The Lucky. Again, welcome to Experts Cake 2019 and we are live from Chancellor's Hall, University Technology Petronas Perak, Sri Iskandar. No, Sri Iskandar first, then Perak. This is a very awesome venue, very nice. It feels like I'm in a Royal Albert Hall, London, listening to some of the best performance from local artists. You know, like it feels very exclusive. So I would like to like, macam sambung master here lah. Got master or not in UTP? Got. I already have master lah. Let's say I continue PhD ke, okay? Right? Okay. For today's session, actually we have amazing educational talk punya session that we are going to share with the penonton here in UTP as well as penonton di rumah. And jangan lupa pada yang sedang stream dekat rumah, anda juga berpeluang memenangi online giveaway RM50 worth of reload voucher from Experts. Just like the Experts Facebook page and share the streamline and answer one simple questions and you will win RM50 of reload voucher. And for the students here, don't worry. Walaupun you all tak stream online, you guys can still walk away with some of the amazing prizes by our partners. We have like Cadbury, we have Predator, Saders, Todak, Boost, and banyak lagi yang you guys boleh menang. Hari ini kita ada banyak giveaway session, okay? Anyway, kita tak nak membuang masa. Kita nak terus kepada our first session. So, kenapa orang akan tanya, why do gaming is considered as sports, you know? But it's actually, you can faham the basic of gaming. Professional athletes, they require training, they require a lot of stuff to involve in this multi-billion industry. When I say multi-billion industry, do you guys know? Okay, I nak tanya one simple question. How many people actually tengok League of Legends, mobile game? Mobile Legends punya final last year. How many millions? Give it a try, bro. You don't know. So if you don't know, you can head on to the educational booth outside and you get to know how many people actually tune in to the finale of Mobile Legends every single year. Okay, so without further ado, let me just invite our first awesome speaker. This guy is like a walking encyclopedia because he knows every single thing about legalization in esports, legality in esports. You know, I also don't know that, but I want to know more about legal and how the connection dengan esports world. So without further ado, let me just invite to the stage. I need like a super big round of applause to him. The man himself, Mr. Richard Wee. Okay, apa nama dia? Esports advisor from MahWengKwai and Associates.
Yes, how are you, man?
I'm good.
Good morning.
Good
Thanks
morning.
for having me here. Yeah.
So, what do you think of this awesome venue?
Really, really awesome, man. I mean, I think I'll come back and study, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful lake.
We'll do a PhD together?
Let's do it, man.
Shall we?
Doctor, right?
Doctor, yeah, you know, Dr.
Yeah.
Richard and Dr. Dia, right? Okay, anyway, I have something for you.
Sure.
This is a very
Important
present.
It's called a clicker.
Yeah, it's called clicker. So, you want to know more about the esports legal and whatnot? Because I also don't know lah, like, kalau I jadi professional player, right? So, I boleh main aja atau macam I need some certification, or is there any international body to protect my, you know, well-being as an esports player? So I want to know more about that, Richard.
Good questions.
So, right?
Yep.
So I shall pass this
thank you.
clicker,
Present.
and the stage is yours.
All right, cheers. All right. Thank you very much. Can I first say thank you to everybody who's here. You could be anywhere else in the morning, but you choose to come here, so thank you for lending me your ears for today. Good morning to Media Premier and team, and also Experts. Fantastic setup. You know, this reminds me of KL Major when at Axiata Arena in WSG. Very well done. Congratulations. And can I also introduce to you my lawyers? I didn't come alone. There's a big group of lawyers doing esports from my firm. My colleague, Miss Leslie Lim, she's a senior associate. Small story about her. When she saw the lake outside, she got excited because she's a dragon boat captain of Malaysia. She represents Malaysia women dragon boat. Last year she was at Asian Games. And my colleague Miss Sapna, who is a ardent gym. She cannot live without a gym, so you can't do sports law if you don't do sports. So let me start. I hope I can click this correctly. Is it here? Let me see. Okay. So, quick introduction. I'm from the firm of MahWengKwai Associates. Dato' Ma is a retired Court of Appeal judge. And MWKA, we call ourselves MWKA. We are one of the few law firms in Malaysia doing sports law. And we've been involved in esports law for about 1.5 years now. And one of the reasons why we started offering services for esports is because there is a great need for legal and compliance in esports. Now, when we were discussing this matter with Media Prima, who wanted to invite us over for today, my first question to Media Prima is, apa yang nak kita cakap? Because we are lawyers. I mean, this is a fantastic tournament. Why have a lawyer here? Boring. Then I was advised that can we share about the legality, the governance, isu undang-undang lah about esports. So I said, okay, I can understand that. So let me just start off by asking that question. Is esports legal? Is it a legal game? Is it a legal tournament? So the answer is very much a big yes. It's a very much legal sports tournament, and it's so major that there's even a definition for it. The first should ask, how did we come with the word esports? E-S-O-R-T-S. So this is the definition given by the Associated Press Style Book. So the Associated Press Style Book is the main governing body for press all over the world. This is the Bernama of the world. So who created the phrase esports, and now the whole world use it. And the word S, the alphabet S, is small, not the capital S. So it's E-S-P-O-R-T-S. So that's the first thing, the word. And it's defined by the Oxford Dictionary, a multiplayer video game played competitively for spectators, typically by professional games. So that's a definition of esports, very much a correct definition of what's happening. Now, let me first start off with the acceptance of esports. How esports has evolved from a gaming in a cyber cafe or playing a computer at home, your basic computer games at home linked up to the internet, to what it is now. So the first, on the top left corner, in Malaysia, both the federal government and the state government has acknowledged esports. And while YB Syed Saddiq, who we know are fighting very hard for esports, well done to YB, but a small credit to YB Khairi Jamaluddin. Actually, he started esports sometime in November, December 2017. He launched it, but credit given to YB Saddiq. He decided to continue, and I think he has made it even bigger. So the federal government has acknowledged esports, and we are in the home of one of the most active esports state, Perak. Perak state government has already started plans to create a legal framework for esports, which includes esports tribunal. So which means if you are not paid, ada orang utang you duit, you can actually go to court, and that court is a special court for esports. Now, if that happens, it is going to be among the first in the world to do it. Among the first. I understand in America and in Europe, there's some form of tribunal, but this one will probably be the first controlled by a government. And that's very, very special to everybody who's involved. Then on the top left, you can see big brands like Mercedes-Benz, Coca-Cola, and AirAsia. They have started to sponsor esports. Now, in the world of sports, ladies and gentlemen, apabila Coca-Cola masuk, maknanya dah besar lah. Usually when Coke comes in, means that the sports is a major sports. So Coke is in now. And on the bottom right side are the tournaments. So we will have the ASEAN Games last year. We had the ASEAN Games last year. And this coming SEA Games in Manila, we will have a proper esports tournament. As you know, there's a selection process going on to select the Malaysia's national team. I really hope we will win the gold at the SEA Games. And of course, on the bottom left side, you see Media Prima here, Astro, all acknowledging these esports. And we even have a special channel called EGG. So this is to show all of us it is now legit. It's very much an accepted sports. Now, this is the example of the prize pool money. I don't have to go into detail, but long story short, there's a lot of money in esports, and they're all legitimate esports prize pool money. So it is a very welcoming development that esports is not just about playing for fun, but orang berdapat pendapatan. We can actually earn a decent living playing the game. So very good. These are all an example of earning capacity of esports tournament. Now, for 2018, this is how we managed to found these stats. This is the esports revenue stream. You can see on the top, on the left side, there's 13.9 million is for the gaming publishing fee. Then the media rights, more or less about 176 million, and so on and so forth. So the biggest chunk is actually sponsorship. You can see 39%. Money is 353 million. So this is just an example of an extract from one of the esports ecosystem. This is not people don't put this kind of money if esports is not legit. So it's very much a legitimate game now. If I can be upfront, maybe there's just a bit too much money in esports. You know, when something has too much money, kadang-kadang we attract the wrong people into the game. And that's where the big worry is that the game may go towards gambling, bad habits, penipuan, match fixing. This is something all of us in the community must stop. Because once this game has too many bad elements, then the sports will drop. So it's something for all of us as a community to work together to make sure that these sports that all of us love don't go down the drain. Right? So this is an example of how much money that we have in esports. So far so good? Okay? Boleh? Can? Okay. All right. Even though I'm given 1.5 hours to speak, but I think I'll finish in half an hour, 45 minutes. So we'll have a chat after this. Now, this is an example of career in esports. Now, I found it very funny when my colleague prepared this and I asked him, if you look at the bottom, there's the word chef. Chef, you see the word chef? Yes. So apparently, there are many chefs out there who is servicing the esports teams. So in Europe and even in Malaysia, where some of the esports professional team train in a particular bungalow home, at an esports home, there is a dedicated person, hari-hari masak nasi ayam for them. And the chef have a particular diet prepare a particular diet for the players. So it's a very interesting evolution that not only the players become better, there's even a cook specially for the team, only for esports players. And it's meant, the food that the players eat is meant to generate concentration in the mind. Because as we know, esports is heavily about the focus on the mind. So that's a career. But if you look at the list, we have an esports player, a coach, esports team manager, casters. We have some casters here who are very, very good casters. They earn a very comfortable living as a caster. Well done. We have streamers. We've got many effective streamers. Some of the streamers, I think, earn more money than a player. So it's a very good career option to be a good streamer, cosplayer. So cosplayer was an unexpected addition to esports. So we have all these well-dressed person with a beautiful looking makeup and all that. They are part of the community. We see psychologists. I've met esports psychologists. It is very important for esports players to be very focused. And if you want to win a tournament, especially for Dota 2, you have 2 seconds to make a decision, sometimes less. And if you make the wrong decision, you lose the game. So it's very important to have psychologists, marketing teams. The whole team here is marketing. Well done to Media Prima Marketing. And look at the amount of people who is earning a salary doing this. Well done. It creates a business. Chef and of course lawyers like us. Now there are more lawyers in the world doing esports. So it's a good career for us lawyers to help on esports, etc., etc. So these are examples of how esports have developed into an industry by itself, an independent industry by itself. Now, these are some challenges. We want to list down the difficulties ahead. What we as lawyers see as legal difficulties for esports. No sports is developing in the easy way. There's always some challenges. So for example, in football, in Malaysia, one of the biggest challenges is match fixing. And in athletic, in swimming and in cycling, the biggest challenge is doping. People take drugs to play sports. So this is something we have to also keep an eye in esports, that players don't get involved in doping. So let me list down some of the challenges in esports. And actually I'm coming to the end of my slides already. Take note. These are the 6 challenges, or 5 main challenges first. I would like to first say that in Malaysia, in fact also in the world, we have the challenge of governance. In the conventional sports, as my lawyer Leslie like to say, not traditional, conventional sports like football, FIFA, right on top of FIFA. Then for Asia is AFC, and Malaysia is FAM. So in esports in Malaysia, we have ESM. But above ESM, there's so many bodies who claim to be headquarters. So we have that legal issue, who's on top. Now this is important, for example, if you are playing esports in Malaysia and you want to go and play tournament in Indonesia, and the Indonesian tournament don't allow you to play, so you need to appeal. You want to complain, why can't I play? And that's where you need to appeal the matter above the Malaysian ESM. So this is an issue of governance which we have not tackled yet. The whole world is facing this issue on how we're going to govern esports around the world. The next one are contracts. A lot of esports players, with respect, we have seen, my lawyers have seen the contract. The contracts are all badly drafted, or poorly worded, or one-sided. So it is important in my view that all of us involved in esports, please look for a lawyer and try to get an advice. Please don't ask your uncle or auntie who may or may not know sports, but please go and look for a proper lawyer. There's always a lawyer out there who will be able to assist you. And the issue of contracts also, one of the things all of you need to look out for is the issue of enforceability, whether the contract can be enforced. So jangan simply sign a contract, read first, and if you don't understand, look for a lawyer. Don't check Google. Google is not a lawyer, right? So look for a lawyer. Can, huh? Try. The third issue is e-doping. Big issue. Now, many of people ask us, what is e-doping? E-doping is not taking drugs. Or some people thought that e-doping is you take the drugs and you inject into the computer. That's not e-doping. E-doping is where you manipulate the software. Where some of the games, like CSGO, for example, while you are going to shoot the gun, but you actually have a software where you can see beyond the wall, and you know behind the wall, your opponent is waiting. So that's called cheating. E-doping, very common now around the world. So we have keep track on that, and that I think will be a big legal issue in times to come. Match fixing. Can I also talk about gambling? Match fixing and gambling comes together. Many players, we have noticed around the world, bet against themselves that they will lose. And they have, of course, been caught for that and have been banned. So this is something we have to stop. If players continue doing this to ourselves, then we will hurt the game. Eventually, esports will go down because people will see, alah, ini tipu punya tournament. So it's something we all must, as a community, stop this. But it is definitely a legal problem, and that is why, in my view, why the federal government and state government is getting involved. so that we can use the police and use MACC to stop this. So I wouldn't be surprised one day, instead of seeing a politician arrested by MACC, we may see an esports player arrested by MACC. But I hope it doesn't happen. It's not good for the image of the sports. But that is something we see as a big problem. The last issue here is broadcasting rights. How many of you here are streamers? Anybody here streamers? No streamer here. Okay. Well done. Congratulations, yeah. Now, the streamers, they have a big challenge with people like Astro, Sky TV, because there's a big fight now between streamers and TV rights. So there's a big challenge going on. And some of you may know the tournament, WSL tournament, I think about a year or two ago at Genting, there was an issue of broadcasting rights. And then the publisher put a stop to it, and then the whole game was opened up again. So these are things which we feel need to be addressed, because a lot of people think that, esports, I can just stream it on my channel. But I don't think that will be the way. Eventually, the esports, so let's say like here, Media Prima is hosting this. Obviously, Media Prima should be the sole broadcasting owner. Should be. Nobody else. Should be. But because of the culture of esports, somebody will be streaming at the side, and it's difficult to stop. So this is something we have to tackle as we go along. Even in the conventional sports, the creation of Netflix, iFlix, Sportflix, all the flicks lah, they are going to kill Sky TV and Astro one day if things are not controlled. So we will see how it goes. Because one day I think we don't need Astro for football. We just need to use our phone. So, and I think the same thing will happen to esports. So we will need to deal with that. Honestly, I'm not sure where the broadcasting rights will go, but it's something as lawyers we'll need to keep an eye on. So that's it, I think. I think we are almost done. Oh, okay, good. Let me go in detail. Oh, thank you. My lawyers went into detail. So as I was saying, for governance, this is the main problem. Everything controlled by publisher. At the moment, everything is controlled by Blizzard and gang. So Valve controls the game. So very difficult for us to take charge of the game when the intellectual property rights belong to somebody else. So unlike football, badminton, squash, tennis, it belongs to all of us. Any of us can play squash. Nobody needs to pay license to play squash. You may have to pay rental at the hall, but the game is free. Badminton, all of us, as you know, kat luar rumah main badminton. So it's a kind of tournament match we can play anywhere and nobody can stop us. But esports, you need to log on to Steam and sign on to the game, blah blah blah, because somebody else owns the game. So this is then how do you govern it? How does ESM, for example, how does Esports Malaysia Association govern the game? This is still an unanswered question for esports. Now, the third one, players play under a moniker which allows the player to have multiple accounts to avoid detection. So this game, this player is known as Peekaboo. Next game, he or she changed name to Hantai. So we don't know that it's the same player, two different persons. So we have this problem for esports. Eventually, my view, all esports players must have only one name. You must register the name. And if you change name, you have to start all over again. That should be the way. Now, next will be the contract. As I said, unfair contract, not knowing what you are signing. So please get a lawyer, I advise you. So the one example is what happened to Smoya. Smoya is a professional player. Despite he was a professional player, he found himself in a contract difficulty. He couldn't get out of the contract. And as you can see, in November 2017, Smoya, he detailed his problems on Twitter. He explained what happened to him. He was benched. And although the contract was worth 36,000 pounds, but the buyout was 3 times more. So he was stuck. So this is one of the problems when the player is not properly advised. So please, I repeat for the 4th time, please look for a lawyer when you do contracts. Boleh? Can? So that's it. Actually, I have a very short presentation only. Is there any question? from the floor.
Yeah. Hello, hello. All right. So, for the audience, do you have any questions for our esports lawyer? Okay, one, Mr. Richard
Yes,
mentioned
yeah.
you need to find lawyer, right? We can find you as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
All
but
right,
that's,
okay.
that's advertisement lah. So look for any lawyer. Yeah.
All right, I have this guy here. Okay, what's your name?
My name is Zulhanan.
Okay, Zulhanan.
Hi Zul, how are you? Morning, sir.
Okay, my question is, we have very young esports players nowadays, right? So we have underage players. How do you deal with that in terms of contract? Who is the one signing it, whether their guardian or the players themselves?
That's a very good question. In fact, one of the biggest challenges of this industry is that almost all the best players in the world are below the age of 20. Right? Now, under the Malaysian law, when a person below the age of 16 signs a contract, he or she must have the parent to sign it. Right? If, touch wood, if you don't have a parent, some of us are anak yatim, then you must have your guardian to sign it if you are below 16. Above 16, you are allowed to sign the contract, but the court accept that the correct age is above 18. If you're above 18, it's no problem. But between 16 to 18, you can only sign a contract if it's relevant to your life. For example, a contract to buy food, a contract to buy clothing. So these are essentials, they call it. So unfortunately, esports is not considered essential, which means even between the age of 16 and 18, you still need your parents to co-sign with you. But if you go to the contract law, below 16, mesti ada guardian to sign, and between 16 to 18, you can sign some contracts on your own. So contohnya, when you go to kedai beli makanan, do you know that there's a contract? Bang, nasi kukus satu, RM8. So you pay RM8, you get nasi kukus. That's a contract. So technically, between the age of 16 to 18, you can just buy off the cuff. So don't you realize that in school, when you're below 16, all of us eat in a canteen, and the canteen is controlled by the school, correct? That's because it goes around the law of contract. Just example. So to answer your question, kalau budak tu bawah 18, sepatutnya kontrak tu ditandatangani dengan ibu bapa. Don't sign alone, because then the contract becomes maybe not legit. But when you're above 18, no problem. You can sign it on your own already. But get a lawyer first. Yes. Did I answer your question? Dah jawab. Okay.
Yeah, all right. We have another one
okay.
over here.
One more gentleman at the back here. Yes.
Okay, hello.
Hi, morning.
My question is that, let's be honest lah, esports players, streamers, all that, they make a lot of money, more money than engineers like for us. When we graduate, they probably only make like a quarter of their money.
More money than lawyers, so but yeah.
So, because of this, a lot of people like youths are gonna be motivated to go into the esports scenes. But as we all know, not everyone's gonna succeed lah. Okay. So, do you think this is gonna be a bad thing to the youth or everything because they go to like the wrong path and then they fail and then their life is ruined?
Thank you. I must first explain that the question you posed, though a very challenging question, is not a legal question. I hope you don't mind. But let me share with you then my personal experience. Now, I think many of us use Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and of course Facebook, correct? All of us use that. And of course, all of us use WhatsApp. Right? Now, these are all the successful apps. For every one successful WhatsApp, there are 1,000 failure. The Telegram, WeChat, okay, WeChat didn't fail. WeChat is doing quite well. Like Facebook, if you go back time, before Facebook, there was this thing called Friendster. And before Friendster, there was this thing called MySpace. So these are examples of people who try to be entrepreneurial. They start something and they didn't make it. And only one made it, which is Mark Zuckerberg for Facebook. But for esports, I believe eventually, 5 to 10 years, there will be one Facebook, one Snapchat within the esports community. There will be the one person or one app or one group which will be in control or taking the lead. But at the moment, I think because the market is very open, very, very open, there is nothing to stop a person being a lawyer and a streamer, or a lawyer and an esports player, or in your case, an engineer and an esports. Actually, nothing to stop at all. In fact, if I were you, I encourage you to play esports while studying, because the game will give you a chance to relax. You know, all study, no play, no good. But play too much, no study, also no good. So my view is that for the short term, yes, I think it will be something we can explore. Now, for the effect on youth, as people say, there is a big debate that esports affect the health and mentalness of people. I absolutely disagree with that. Let me tell you why. I'm quite old already, you know. I'm born in 1973, so which makes me 46 years old. When I was 10 years old, I told my father I wanted to play football full time. My father said, no, very bad. Very, very bad. Nothing will happen to you. And this was in 1983. He said, terrible. You won't go far. Now, one of my good friends, he has a son who is 15 years old. And the son told him, Dad, I don't want to study anymore. I want to play football full time. So the father said, which is my friend, said, no, you still got to study, but I fully support you playing football. So the father takes him for training every day. Now the boy plays in the junior league in Selangor. You can see the time has changed. What was not cool 40, 50 years ago, what was not acceptable, professional sports wasn't acceptable. And in terms of mental, people say, oh, you know, esports are very bad for health. People only sit down and play without thinking. I disagree. Some play football only. Okay, sorry. Masalah technical. Oh, thank you. I think I talk too loud. Makan battery. Yeah. So for the games like football, badminton, some players they eat, drink, sleep only badminton and football. They don't think of anything else. Isn't that equally bad? That they don't have anything else in their mind but badminton and football. So actually, it's a natural evolution of a sport. When someone wants to be very, very, very good at a sport, they will think only about the sports. And that cannot be unhealthy. So in Dota 2, for example, you really need to live and eat Dota 2. You don't play Dota 2 every day, you cannot win. So that is something which we have to accept. It's part and parcel of professional sports. So yes, there may be some problems in health, but I think the benefits outweigh everything. And very important is for us, as a person playing, you must learn to know where is your limit. Don't overdo things. In life, if you do overdo things, it's not going to work out. So, to summarize, don't worry, you know, there are certain people who make it, certain people who don't make it, but if you don't try, you don't know. So give it a shot. 2, no harm learning, playing esports and working and studying as an engineer or lawyer. 3, in terms of health and bad for youth, I slightly disagree with that comment. I feel that there's nothing wrong being good in esports. But it's just that I ask all of you, you need to know your limit. Kalau dah rasa penat and you know on that day, your mind is going a bit cuckoo, switch off. Right? You need to rest. And if can, I advise all of you, no matter how good you are in esports, please complete your degree or diploma. Get something. Because you cannot play esports at the age of 55. You know, you need to have a career after that. So have a degree so they go have something to fall back on. Can? Any other questions? The gentleman with the black shirt, yeah. Good question. Ask more. Yes.
Following up to the previous question, in terms of the contract
Yes.
law, so let's say you sign a contract at 16 years old with your guardian or parent as signatory. How does it work where you actually, the contract is 2 years or 3 years, and you keep with the team, and when you get to legal age of 18, do you sign any contract, or how does that work? So, and it's also in relation to how football works, because we know that in the UK, they have football academy from the really tender young age that groom them to become a top player in some of the top EPL teams. So how does that translate in Malaysia in terms of application of training law and protection for these talents?
Thank you. Now, that's a very probing question about contract. Now, can I first explain about football, and then I'm going to apply it to esports. You know, in football, or even NBA basketball, Major League Baseball, or if you go to Korea, you go to Japan, the sumo wrestling, the way they train the sumo wrestling, they have a very, very good scheme. So let's take football, for example. If you are below the age of 16, the football club gives you a scholarship. So technically, it's not a contract. They give you a scholarship, which, of course, your parents will sign, and you live and eat at the football club and play at the football club while going to school. You still go to school. Then, once they hit 18, then they give you a proper professional contract. So you can still study if you want, but this is your professional contract. Now, for esports, how I will apply that here, I think if I have my way and if I'm able to advise the professional teams, if your player is below 16, you don't sign a contract. You should sign a scholarship with the parents. And so it's like a scholarship system where the parents is still, the kid is still studying but playing game, and the club will sponsor the student. When they hit 18, technically they have to sign a new contract. They have to sign a new contract, technically, unless that scholarship goes all the way until the player is 21. So I need to look at the terms of the contract. But as most of the lawyers, if they advise the team, most lawyers will tell the team to stop at the age of 18, unless there is special reasons to go beyond 18. So I hope that I answered your question, yeah. So if any of you are planning to own a team, my strong advice is that if you find a super talent at the age of 15, a very good Dota player, she's the best Dota player in the world, first lady Dota champion, sign her up, give her a scholarship. That would be one way. A win-win for everybody. And it's legal, it's legit. Can? Okay. Any other question?
Do you have more questions from the floor?
Well, while waiting
Alright,
for,
yep.
while waiting for, oh, there's no question. Okay, good. Hi. Hi. Morning.
This is not so much for players, but so far like staff, because I feel like we don't have enough regulations in Malaysia in terms of
For esports.
For esports. So my question is, how do players protect themselves, or what besides contract law, what other laws they can protect themselves, and also like staff of esports events, how do they protect themselves for like say late payments, or like when esports players also get their money late and all that, and
or non-payment, like ages.
yes.
Yeah, well, like no.
And but the bigger question is, if there is no regulations for esports, what are the laws that I can fall to in Malaysia itself to protect myself as maybe a player or staff or anybody in general doing esports? Thank you.
All right. Very good question. Four questions in one.
Sorry.
Okay, let me try. So if I miss out your answer, please refresh my memory. For players, anybody here who are professional players or play quite frequently? Do you play in tournaments? How many of you playing in tournaments? Nobody play in tournaments here. Surely got, right? I see some hands here. Well done. Now, I'm not sure whether you are aware, but there is an organization called MESPA. MESPA. You can Google it now. They are on Facebook. It stands for Malaysia Esports Players Association. MESPA. Your president is Shige, the FIFA player. I think he plays under Frostfire. So that's your president, and your vice president is Baby Uleng. Is that Uleng, right? Vice president is Uleng. Where's Leslie? It's Uleng, right? Yeah, it's Uleng. So these are your president and vice president. That association is registered to protect players. It is led by players. Members are players, and it's meant to help and protect players. It just got registered. It just got created last year, and the application went into Registrar of Society to form it as a proper association. So it becomes like a players' union. So in the long term, we hope MESPA will be able to be the main guardian and the main shield for players. So it just started, it takes some time. So that is in terms of governing body. But in terms of protecting players outside the governing body, the law which protect the players at the moment is contract law and law of trust and criminal law. So these are three contracts which will protect the players. Which means if, let's say, if you are going to sue a club or a team, your lawyers will engage the usage of these three laws. So you will be protected by these three provided you sign a proper contract. And of course, the law of evidence, if you have enough evidence in your case, blah, 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 blah. Then, in terms of regulation, very interesting that you raised that. The Perak state government, I can share with you, I have personal knowledge of this, that the Perak state government intends to launch certain laws to govern Perak for esports regulation. This is to protect, contohnya, kalau kamu nak masuk kepada esports center, you may need to surrender your IC for them to register. This is to ensure no hanky-panky goes on in the esports center. To also give confidence to parents that the esports center is not a dodgy place. Example, contohnya, one of the regulation. There are many more regulations coming up. So, you are right there, Miss. I agree with you on one point. There's a lack of regulation now. And that's normal. People tend to forget, 20 years ago, when we were using BMX and jumping here and there, and we call it X Games, it was totally ungoverned. Macam cowboy that time. Nobody knows what's the rules. Whether which BMX can use, cannot use this BMX or not, roller blade, roller skate, which one. So the X Games have now become mainstream. It's become a proper game, all properly governed and regulated. So in esports, we are now living in an era of neither here nor there yet. We are no more, we are not dodgy anymore. We are not underground anymore. We have come out. We are now in the open, but we haven't reached FIFA, Olympic Council, you know, proper World Badminton Federation. We haven't reached the level yet, but we are heading towards there. And tournaments like this, look at this tournament, for example, look at this tournament. How can this tournament not be legit? You know, it's so well organized, so well planned, and your marshals are on standby to govern the game. The rules are there. They have already planned who will win and who can win and who, not who will win, sorry. They will plan who can win and how to break on a deadlock. You know, everything's planned. So in that sense, the community is heading towards legitimacy. But it will take time. How long? 5 years, 10 years from now. But in the meantime, we should enjoy this moment, because these are the kinds of moments we only live once. And your generation are very lucky. You get to see this moment. You get to live through this moment. Right? So once it becomes fully legit, some of you will say, I wish those days when we can do whatever we want. It was more cool. But let's hope so. Did I answer a question? Yeah? More or less. Okay, I'll see you later to answer a better question. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any other question? Yes. Oh, okay, good. I love the fact they're asking. So then we can stay until, how long do I have?
Maybe
11:30.
About 10 minutes.
Ah, okay, 10 more minutes. Come, shoot. All yours, yes. The publishers, yes. That is an ongoing problem we have at the moment. Your question actually answered the question. Your own question, yeah. Spot on. A publisher, if a publisher ban a group of players in a certain country, then player can't play. So the government, on the other hand, what the government can do, if you notice what almost every government in the world are doing, or every esports association in the world is doing, they only govern and control the tournament. So the tournament can be organized on our own without the publisher. So the tournament itself can be regulated and governed. But if the publisher decide that they will block the game and you can't stream it in Malaysia, so Dota 2 tomorrow stop, totally cannot play, all blocked. Habis lah. That's the end of Dota 2. So unfortunately, that is the reality. And nobody can stop them because it belongs to them. So for example, if tomorrow McDonald's don't want to do business in Malaysia and they close the franchise, all McDonald's close, we can't do anything. Because we don't own McDonald's. some mozzarella in America owns McDonald's, you know. So it's the same concept. But what can be done is that, which I know for a fact Malaysian government is doing that, they keep a very friendly relationship with all the publishers. When I say friendly, I'm talking about maintaining a working, an economic friendship, so that the publisher continues staying in Malaysia. And I think it is great benefit for all governments in the world to work with the publisher. I only hope the publisher don't become too arrogant one day. That's my only hope. But so far, all of the publishers I've seen, they're very professional. They're out to make money. They want to earn money, but they also deal things very fairly so far. So good hope, good hope. Answer your question? Yeah. Next, yeah. Yes, yes. Yeah. And then one more gentleman, yeah. You. Sure. Yes.
But as you know, when we actually purchase those software,
Agreement, yes, correct. Correct. Mm. And then you just stream it on your channel.
they own the IP, but what the IP being used under is our right as the purchaser of that IP.
And whether you can stream it out, yeah. Well, sorry, have you gone? Or is there any more question?
That's all.
Okay, thank you. Good question. The answer actually is this. When we go through, my team has gone through the end users agreement, our personal opinion is that actually all of us who do streaming, in theory, can be stopped. The publisher may be able to stop us. The publisher may have, you look at the words, they say that the publisher have a final say. You go through it. I think it's almost at the bottom of that long document they send you. Now, but so far, the publishers hardly stop anybody. I think the reason is very simple. It benefits the publisher. Right? That so long as streaming goes on, it helps to promote the game, especially new games. It helps to promote the game. So I think at the moment we live in a position where legally the publisher may be able to stop you, but the publisher has no reason to stop you. That's how I will answer you. So for us as the end user, if we use the thing and stream, then you must stream responsibly. You don't go and put silly advertisement there, advertising murder, advertising killing animals, and then the publisher will stop you lah. You know, so I think we as a streamer, we also need to learn to be accountable and responsible when you stream. Did I answer your question? Yeah, because I don't mean to give you a 50-50 answer, but that's the position. It's neither here nor there at the moment. And if you ask a publisher, they will never say, I will stop you from streaming. They will never say that. But will they say, I think you can stream all the way? They also won't say that. They keep that position. They also keep the position in the middle. And we know why, so that they can control. Ken, I think the other gentleman next to you want to ask, yes. Is this the last question? I think this is the last question. Yes, all yours. Hi.
Aim towards Malaysia esports scene, if you have any knowledge. And this question might be a bit silly, so bear with me.
No problem. Go ahead.
So currently, when it comes to Malaysia esports, the games I heard are under like SPS and or MOBA, FIFA, something like that. Is there any plans to expand the genre for esports such as fighting games?
To bring in more games into Malaysia. Okay. Unfortunately, that's not a legal question, but I will speak with you based on my knowledge. The answer is yes. I understand that there is great demand to bring in more new games into Malaysia. You know, but what games is going to come in first? Unfortunately, I'm not so sure. But don't you think it's better for Malaysia if we bring in more games? Right? We are a very active esports community. Some of the world's best, for example, Dota player is here in Malaysia. So I think we should bring in more games and try. I think Malaysian people love to play games. And I think we can do very well in esports. Okay? So, okay, thank you so much for your Q&A. Thank you, terima kasih. I hope I will meet the lady later and have a chat with her. Can I end by saying this? When you deal with esports pertaining to rules and regulation, read what you are getting into, understand what you're getting into. If you're not sure, ask a lawyer, check with a lawyer. There are about 18,000 lawyers in Malaysia, in Peninsular Malaysia. And Sabah and Sarawak, there's another 3, 4, 5,000 lawyers there. Plenty of lawyers, just ask them. Right? Of course, they will ask you for some legal fee. You negotiate with them a reasonable fee, you can get help. Can? So, good luck with all of you. Can I wish Media Prima and team good luck in the tournament? All the best. And let's hope the Kejohanan campus become the best. Huh? Cheers.
You, Richard.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you again to Mr. Richard Wee from MahWengKwai Associates. I got it right, Richard? Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay, I think one interesting thing about Mr. Richard is, you don't get bored listening to him, right? It's such a very dull topic. It's illegal, but he makes it very interesting. So thank you to Richard and his awesome team, Leslie and I forgot that guy's name. Yeah, Samna. All right, guys. So later, for the next session, we are going to be listening to talk from Razi. Razi, later. Okay, later. Let me do some introduction first, lah. Okay, then I'll call you later. So just now, Alex, you asked about the career in esports, right? So actually, if you're an engineer, if you're like student that study ICT, you can venture into other segment of esports. For example, programming of the game itself. And if you like to talk like me, you can be a caster. But apparently, I cannot be a caster. If not, that too cannot cari makan lah. Okay, and then I think we have a giveaway, our first giveaway. Are we going to have our first giveaway? All right. Let me invite to the stage pretty Jessica Pun Hoyen. So she's one of the finalists from Miss Universe last year. All right, so inside this awesome bag, there are few amazing items from our sponsors. We have some Cadbury, and we also have the main prize is another special one is, all right, this one, gaming mat by, this is an awesome, mactech.my. All right, so this is the last, the main prize for this giveaway. Okay, for the first one, wow, a lot of cards inside here. Hundreds. Anyone here yang dah tak kat dalam ni tak? Ada kat tangan tak? Tak ada. Langsung tak ada. Dude. Okay, the first winner for giveaway is UTP 00023. UTP 00023. Calling. UTP 00023. First, second, and now I'll reserve this first. Second one is got or not? UTP 00037. Oh, yeah, got. Tepuk sikit, tepuk. Tepuk. Congratulations. Student UTP? Yes. Nama siapa? Shakila. Okay, congrats Shakila. Kena tunjuk. 37. Betul Shakila. Congrats. Dia masuk berita harian ni. Next one. A lot of, banyaknya. Okay, next one, 00062. Okay. Congratulations, 00062. Okay, siapa yang tak dapat raffle card lagi boleh pergi register and visit our booth outside. Kita ada banyak booth, expats, kita ada our partner booth, Saders, Toda, and also booths, and also MP Labs. Get the chop, and then you can win some amazing prize today, right? Okay. Terima kasih. Data geng-geng dia menang semua hari ini. Yang 4 orang duduk belakang tu ada? Ada masuk tak? Ada, okay. 00024. 24. 241, 242, 243. Tidak ada. Okay, wow, nice number. Like this number. 00045. 45 ada tak? Ada tak? Oh ada, tu pakai topi tu. 45. Ada tak percaya? Ya, adalah pemenangnya. Dia macam, betul ke I? 00045. Boleh tengok muka dekat skrin, nampak tu? Yes. Okay. And then next one, kita ada lagi 2. 00026. 26 261 262 263 dan tiada peluang kedua ya. Siapa yang belum boleh, lepas ni ada giveaway lagi. Okay, 00048. 48. Yeah, we have a winner here. Alright. Congratulations. Okay, the last one kita ada mat gaming. Siapa suka main game? So, kau ingat yoga je ada mat, gaming pun ada mat, okay? Okay, last but not least. Okay. 0 0 0 0 0 0 00047. So this one dia dapat extra prize, gaming mat. I pun tak tahu untuk apa gaming mat ni. Oh, mouse pad. Okay, it's bigger one for gaming. Congratulations. Alright, that's our first round of giveaway. We are going to have another giveaway after Razi's punya talk. Okay, for online giveaway ada ramai dah menang tadi. Kita like at Spats punya Facebook page, share the live stream, and also you can win 50 ringgit of reload voucher by Expats. Alright, okay. For the next speaker, dia ni antara orang yang famous for caster punya scene lah. But now dia akan cakap macam, if you guys want to have a career in esports, apa lagi sub career path yang korang boleh cuba lah. So that tanpa membuang masa, I would like to invite to the stage now Mr. Razi Ikutur Rahman. Betul kan? Salah tu nama. Ada slide? Ada, okay, ni. This is the thing.